Hey guys, before the video begins, I just wanted to give out a quick reminder that I'm going to be doing a 5th Q&A. I'm still waiting for questions. I don't have very many at the moment, so if you guys are interested in participating, you can look at the video I put in the card in the top right-hand corner and you'll see the details there. So yeah, with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hello everyone, Electrical Squid here. So in this video I'm going to be ranking every single mainline Mario game. I know I did this video once before, but there was a decent chunk of games that I have not played, and recently I've taken the time to try some of them. So I'm going to be making this list again, and this time we'll be able to rank all of them. Also, I'm using a different tier list compared to what I used in the last video that I took down, so yeah, that's all I have to say, so without further ado, let's start ranking them. So, first up is the original Super Mario Bros. Now, I understand how influential this game is, but it's nothing special for me. I'm not a huge fan of most NES games to begin with, or even any kind of retro game. There's a few exceptions, but yeah, this game is a very middle-of-the-road game for me, so I'll give it a C. Next up is Super Mario Bros. 2 The Lost Levels. Yeah, this game is not great. It doesn't really do much to innovate outside of the poison mushroom, which is a cool idea on paper, but it's just more or less just an annoyance. And you know, it's known and pretty well disliked for its sheer difficulty. You know, there's a lot of levels that just have clusters of enemies and precise jumps. Yeah, it's dumb. Also, 100%ing the game is kind of stupid. You have to beat the game 8 times, so unless you're a speedrunner, yeah, that's quite the difficult task. So I'm gonna put this in D. Next up is Super Mario Bros. 2. This is a pretty fun little game. It innovates from the original quite well. For one, you can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, which all have unique abilities. You know, Mario, you could say, is the most balanced. Luigi can jump really high. Peach can float for like a second or two. I'm not sure what Toad does, but yeah, and picking things up is a nice little change too. But yeah, despite how much this game innovates, I'm still not a huge fan of it. There are some annoying things in the game, like the boss. Like, from what I've played, the bosses can be quite annoying. But it's a nice change of pace from the original, so I'll put it at the top of C. Next up is Super Mario Bros. 3. This is personally my favorite NES game. It's just really fun to play. It has a lot of interesting levels. One example is the level with the big enemies and blocks. That's really cool. They are a bit short, but they're really fun to play. All the new power-ups, like the Tanuki suit or the shoe and the frog suit, are all really fun to use. It has actual worlds. It lets you control Mario and choose which level you want to go to, which is really cool. And it has a really good final boss too. You have to make Bowser stomp on these blocks, and then once he destroys the last layer, he just falls into the void, and there you go, you've beaten the game. So yeah, Super Mario Bros. 3, I will give an A. Next up is Super Mario World. Also a very fun game, my personal favorite SNES game. Super memorable, especially the soundtrack. The power-ups are really fun. You got the cape and the balloon power-up. That's quite a silly one as well, among a few others. All the levels are fun to play. The final boss is really well made too. And it has much more expansive worlds as well. Plus you got some extra movement options like the spin jump. That's really fun to use as well. So yeah, I'll give Super Mario World an A. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I was honestly not expecting to like this game as much as I did. I mainly played it on a Switch Online SNES, and it's honestly just really fun. There's something really fun about turning enemies into eggs, and then you can set up the egg's trajectory while moving before throwing it. And it has a really cool way of losing. You know, when you lose Mario, time starts to tick down, and if it ticks to 0, you lose a life. and it tells a pretty heartfelt backstory about Mario and Luigi. So, you know, you got these storks delivering them, and then they're kidnapped by Kamek, and one of them loses Mario, and Mario encounters the Yoshis, and it's up to them to get him and Mario back together. So yeah, really cool concept, and overall just really fun to play. So I'll put this one at the bottom of it. I don't like them quite as much as these games, but still, it's a really good game, and I highly recommend it. Next up is Super Mario Land. So, you know, for a Game Boy game, it's pretty solid, but otherwise it's a pretty short game and kind of boring. The ball flower is kind of cool, the music is catchy, but that's really all I gotta say about it. I'll give it a bottom of C. Super Mario Land 2. Definitely improved from the last game quite well. It has actual worlds, like introduced in Mario Bros. 3, and they're quite expansive and open. It has funny power-ups like the wings. Like if you have the wing power-up, if you just mash A as fast as you can practically fly for as long as you want. But again, I'm not too crazy about it, so I'll give it a C. Ooh, this is a good one. Super Mario 64. Y'all know me. This is my favorite game to speedrun, but even speedrunning taken out of the equation, it's just so much fun. It's an absolute blast. It was incredibly influential, being the first of its kind. You know, the first 3D open world game ever made. The worlds are super fun to explore. It has fun objectives for collecting stars, like blasting away a wall or releasing a chain chomp, and stuff like that. The bosses could be better. Most of them just have you damaging them 3 times, and for Bowser, for the first 2 Bowser fights, you throw him into a bomb once, and for the final levels 3 times. Even though he does gain some more like powers and stuff, like second Bowser level, he can teleport, and in the third Bowser, he can spit out a bunch of fire, and there's blue flames that home in towards Mario. But they're not too difficult. And also the story could be better. I mean, I guess you could say it's the first game that has an actual story, but it's literally just Mario entering the castle and all of a sudden Peach is gone. But then again, it's an old game, it's an N64 game, so not really much to expect, but this game was definitely, in terms of gameplay, oh my god, I cannot talk. This game was definitely way ahead of its time. So yeah, attaboy Super Mario 64, you are the first S. Next up is Super Mario 64 DS. Now, despite how much new stuff there is in this game compared to the original, you know, you can play as Mario, Wario, Luigi, and Yoshi. There's some more levels, and extra objectives too. It just overall feels much slower than the original game. Like, I don't really like the controls as much, and the pacing feels kind of slow too. You know, that's really all I gotta say about it. It's a decent enough game. I'll put it at B. Next up is Super Mario Sunshine. Very, very strong, innovative game with the vacation theme setting and introducing FLUDD as well. FLUDD really helped give Mario some extra movement options, and he is pretty fun to use. Story is kind of funny too. You know, they arrive on the island, Mario defeats this slimy piranha plant thingy, I don't know what they're called, and then the civilians and the policemen think he's Shadow Mario, who is actually responsible for all the havoc around Delfino Plaza. So yeah, Mario gets arrested and has to clean everything up. That's a pretty funny story. I will say this game is one of the harder ones. Like, there were quite a few shines that had me playing for quite a while and gave me some trouble, and especially Corona Mountain. Like, the boat section, I could not get past for the longest time. I believe I spent like an hour on that. I'm not even exaggerating. And also, I kind of like the different way it has of beating the game. You know, most of the Mario games, at least the 3D ones, have you collecting a certain amount of stars to progress, but in this game, in order to beat the game, you have to get the first 7 shines from each of the main levels, which is kind of cool. Just that I personally I'm not as much of a fan of this game as a lot of other people, but still, it's a pretty solid game, so I'll give it a top of B tier. Ooh, another good one, Super Mario Galaxy. This game is something else, man. To start, I have to talk about the story. I think it has one of the best stories in any Mario game ever made. Definitely the best cutscenes out of any Mario game. I love the opening, I love the ending. The opening always gives me goosebumps, and like Bowser and his airships come again, but then they literally tear the castle off of the ground and take him into space. It's like just wow. The ending is really confusing. You know, Bowser's star collapses in on itself and becomes a black hole. Everything starts getting sucked into it, but the Lumas all fly in to try and neutralize it, I guess. And then, you know, it blows up, and the rest of that is just like, what even is happening? It's a lot like Interstellar. It's very confusing, but very cool nonetheless. The hub world and all the levels are fun and open. It has fun objectives for collecting stars. Graphics, especially for the Wii, are phenomenal. Controls feel really tight too, and makes good use of the Wiimote's motion controls. And it has some fun power-ups. You got the spring mushroom, the fire flower, the ice flower. The boo mushroom is also really cool. Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy is on a whole other level. I give it an S. I don't like playing it as much as Super Mario 64, but objectively, it's awesome. Super Mario Galaxy 2. This game is also phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. I don't like it as much as 1 though, personally. I don't think the story is as good. You know, Mario arrives and all of a sudden Bowser is absolutely huge and he just kind of disappears into the sky. And then some Lumas down there form a launch star and he just kind of follows after them. And the ending isn't as badass as the other one, as the first game either, and you know, the hub world isn't as cool, but it's still cool that it's based on Mario's head. The levels do feel a bit more linear. I do like the new power-ups, and Yoshi is certainly a great addition with his own power-ups. You got the rock flower, the cloud flower, all really fun to use. You also got the drill. Yoshi's got his blink fruit, the spicy pepper, and the glow fruit that even lights up invisible areas. And the fact that this game has a whopping 242 stars is mind-blowing. Like, holy crap, that really helps give the game replay value. So yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 2 is another S. Alright, now we're into the new Super Mario Bros. Game. So starting with the first one on the DS. This one is my personal favorite. In my opinion, it has the best levels and absolutely the best bosses, especially the tower bosses. Castle bosses, a few of them are just Bowser, and especially the final boss is pretty underwhelming. You just run under Bowser when he jumps and press the button, or if you have the fire flower, you just spam the crap out of the fireballs and he eventually dies. It's quite underwhelming, but the rest of the bosses are great. It has fun power-ups like the blue shell and the mega mushroom. The mini games are a nice touch too, and it has by far the best multiplayer mode. You know, Mario vs. Luigi, they chase after themselves and try and go for the most stars. It's really good. New Super Mario Bros. Is an S. I know, controversial, but I just love this game, dude. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. This is a very nostalgic game. This was the first New Super Mario Bros. I ever played. All the new power-ups are super fun to use. You got the wing cap or propeller mushroom, I guess it's properly called. Too many people call it the wing cap. Like, it clearly doesn't have wings on it. But anyway, the penguin suit is fun. Yoshi is fun to use as well. Very helpful too. A lot of the components and levels make good use of the Wiimote's motion controls. The Koopalings are great additions too. It's nice to see them come back in a more modern Mario title. Some of them, I really like how some of them add something new to each boss fight, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, Wendy throws these rings at Mario. I can't really think of anything else, but you get the point. And the final boss is definitely one of the better final bosses. You know, Bowser becomes huge and you have to let his fire, destroy the wall in order to progress, and you have to board these platforms and not, fall in the lava. It's a great final boss. So yeah, I'll give New Super Mario Bros. Wii an A. I personally don't like them as much as DS, but it's there. New Super Mario Bros. 2. In my opinion, this is the most underrated Mario game ever. I've been having a lot of fun playing it on the Citra 3DS emulator. Honestly, I think the coin gimmick is really fun and kind of makes the game oddly satisfying. It's funny how all these coins you collect make it impossible to game over because of how much you collect, right? Every 100 coins equals a life, so yeah. Only 2 worlds in, and it was already at 60 lives, I believe. It was funny. But yeah, this game is just fun overall very, very fun to play. The new turning power-ups are fun. You got the Tanuki suits. The gold fire flower is pretty awesome. I'd say my only major complaint about this game is the tower bosses are a complete joke. It's just the same lion statue, I don't know what his name is, over and over and over again, and he's an absolute cakewalk to take out. I wish they put more effort into the tower bosses. And it has a pretty good final boss too. Bowser becomes big again, but he's in the background swiping away those platforms, and you have to avoid those. Yeah. So I think New Super Mario Bros. 2 is really good. I'll put it in an A. New Super Mario Bros. U. I really like its unique style and power-ups and, world themes. The mini Yoshis are pretty fun to use as well. I really like the expansive worlds and how they're really connected to each other. Just my biggest problem is that I don't find it that memorable. It's one of the more forgettable Mario games for me. And yeah, because of that, I can't really bring myself to like it as much as the other games. So I'm gonna put it at a B. It's a solid Mario game, just not the most memorable for me, so. Super Mario Run. I don't really consider this a mainline Mario game, but I guess we'll talk about it anyway. It was definitely cool to see Mario reach mobile devices, but it's just kind of boring to play. I don't really like how Mario automatically runs the whole time, and he can, just hop over enemies like they're nothing, and it's just, yeah, it's really boring. That's really all I gotta say about it. It's probably my least favorite Mario game. Super Mario 3D Land. This was the start of mixing 2D and 3D, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I liked what it was going for. And the level designs are pretty cool. The power-ups are fun, collecting the coins and stuff. It just feels really, really slow because of it runs at 30 FPS. It's just, yeah, it prevents me from liking it quite a bit, so I'll give it a B. Now, Super Mario 3D World. This is what I'm talking about, man. It improved from 3D Land massively. It feels so much better to play, so much smoother. The new power-ups are really fun. You got the cat suit, the boomerang flower. Well, the boomerang flower was in 3D Land, but yeah, collecting the green stars is really fun. All the levels have a unique theme to it, mostly. I really like the story as well. Instead of Bowser kidnapping Peach, he kidnaps the Sprixies, I think they're called. And yeah, all the characters follow him into this whole other dimension. So yeah, it's really cool. And the fact that it's a lot like Super Mario Bros. 2, where you can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Toad, all of which have unique abilities, and later on you can play as Rosalina, who has a spin attack. Yeah, and all the bosses are really cool and inventive as well. So yeah, Super Mario Odyssey is a really great game. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend it. Top of A tier for me. Alright, now Super Mario Odyssey, man. Oh my god. Jeez, this game is just immaculate, dude. There's almost nothing wrong with this game. I say my only complaint is that the intro was kind of a bit rushed. It starts immediately with Mario fighting Bowser on his airship. I kind of wish it was like 64 or Galaxy, where Peach sends a letter where Peach invites Mario over to the castle, and then they meet, and then Bowser arrives, and then they pick up from where the game actually starts. So yeah, that's really my only complaint, but everything else about this game is just, oh my word. Each world is absolutely massive and fun to explore. Cappy was a very nice introduction. It's cool to see Mario's hat live, I guess. And he makes for some really fun movement options. And, you know, because of Cappy, Mario's movement is so connected now. Like, you can just throw Cappy, jump and dive into it, and then repeat over and over again. Well, not actually over and over, but it just makes the gameplay all the more fun. Capturing enemies is also a really cool and wacky idea, and each objective makes use of it really well. And there's just so much to do, like a whopping 880 moons. That's absolutely nuts. And I like the story too. Like, I knew at some point we were gonna get a Mario game where Bowser tries to marry Peach too. And you know, we got some really great bosses too. You got the Brutals. They're easy, but they have cool ways of trying to attack Mario. The Mecha Brutal is a really difficult but fun boss. Madame Brood, I think her name is also pretty cool. And just, yeah, there's so much to love about this game. If you haven't played it, trust me, you're missing out on one epic adventure. Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite Mario game. S tier. So, yeah, that was my Mario game tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and tell me how would you rank these games. I would love to see that. So yeah, that's going to be the end of this video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to smack the like button, and if you're considering unsubscribing to the channel, be sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video, and if you want to support me even more, be sure to check the links in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace!